Yeah. All right. What
Yeah,
What were your thoughts?
hated it. No, I really really liked this film. I loved it. I watched it last night, and it kind of came at the right point for me. It
Yeah.
was exactly what I needed to watch this week. Um, so we'll not really go into the plot or anything now. We'll wait till the spoilers. But
I think
I'm sure
everybody
everybody
already
knows that
knows.
there's a
Yeah.
everybody who knows that there's the time loop,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that it's
That's
set
pretty
that it's
common
set on
knowledge. Yeah.
Groundhog Day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think if you're a film fan, you should know. We should definitely know that. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, yeah. So it's been one of those films like that I've been wanting to watch for a long time, and then you have recommended it to me, and now this is my push to watch it. Um, and yeah, absolutely loved it. Bill Murray stand out.
Kills it, doesn't
I
he?
don't really, I might take this back, but I can't really think of a better Bill Murray performance now. And maybe
100%.
Lost in Translation, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, and Andy McDowell as well was really
Who
really
does
good.
who does he play? Yeah.
She plays
Oh,
Rita, his love interest.
sorry, had a brain
Yeah,
fart then.
oh,
Yeah.
her name's Rita.
Yeah.
And yeah, she plays his love interest, and she was just like the sweetest, just like played it so well, just like opposite his. Because at well, what I loved was like his arc in the film.
Hmm.
Where he starts off, doing the weather at the very very start of the film,
Hmm.
and then where he ends up, and what he goes through, and what you see him go through, and the little changes
Yeah.
throughout the story.
Yeah.
Um, and just the way it was all filmed as well. Like there was it is a time loop, so there are scenes that he obviously goes through the same day again and again. So there
Yeah.
are scenes that they've obviously the shots that
They
they've
redo. Yeah.
recreated, yeah,
Yeah.
and they look exactly the same, but the only difference is his little reactions,
Yeah.
which just are amazing.
It
Bill
is
Murray's just
amazing.
little confused. Um,
It
but
is
yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
his character Phil, like where he was and where
I
he got
agree
to,
with you. Yeah.
and just funny as well. Like there was a few laugh out loud moments, and I just absolutely loved it. I think it was Stephen Tobolowsky's character, the guy Ned Ryerson that just keeps appearing, but it's a salesman.
The life insurance
Yeah, the
guy.
life insurance guy. Yeah.
Was it Bell?
Yeah.
Bell?
Phil.
Oh, Phil.
Phil
Yeah.
Connors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Phil.
loved all of
I love
that.
it.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just the message behind it as well. And I think we can talk more about that when we talk spoilers now. Um,
Definitely. Well,
so can we go into spoilers?
yeah, let's head right into spoilers. Yeah.
Let's dive right in. Um, yeah, so he starts off as the grumpy weatherman, and with a news station, and
Hmm.
they've been sent off to go and report on Groundhog Day in like a little kind of rural town in
Hmm.
America.
Hmm.
And he is with like the camera guy and another reporter who's Rita, who later becomes the love interest.
Yeah.
Um, and he is so just sarcastic, grumpy, just like is really just snarky to everyone.
Yeah.
Like he's just a bit of an ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
um, and it's fun to watch. It's entertaining. But yeah. So he obviously goes through the whole Groundhog Day thing, and he's just not interested in Groundhog Day whatsoever. And then goes through the whole process of Groundhog Day, and to be honest, I didn't really know that much about Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
So it was quite interesting to see their tradition.
Yeah.
Like tapping the stick and getting it out,
It's pretty
like
weird, isn't
talking
it?
to it. Yeah, it is a bit strange, but
What's the
um,
town? Is the town called Punxsutawney? Punxsutawney or something?
yeah,
I can't
something
remember.
like that. I can never
Something
pronounce it
weird,
now.
isn't
I
it?
feel
Yeah.
like I knew it at the time when I was watching the film.
Punxsutawney. I don't know what
Yeah,
it's called. Yeah.
Punxsutawney.
Yeah.
Punxsutawney. Yeah, so whenever he wants to leave the town at the end of Groundhog Day, and then there becomes a blizzard, and then one of the funniest scenes was, I don't know if you remember it, but whenever he's like he's about the tunnel is blocked and he can't get out of the town, and he just gets out and it's really cold and he's like going through the weather forecast and he's like shivering, he's like and the gales and it's just
Yeah.
so funny. And then there's like the 6 o'clock
The
flipping
song, the song that
the
plays.
song.
I've got you, babe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know.
it's so good. It's like iconic, isn't it?
It's so iconic, yeah. And I even knew that it was that song and it was that time, even though I had never watched the film.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what happens then is just confusion, and you go through the first process of his whole day. You know, he wakes up and goes out, and he meets the same guy in the stairs, and
Hmm.
and he's really, really puzzled and just kind of confused, and then goes downstairs to the lady who owns the place where he's staying, and she does the exact same thing as well, and then he just goes through the whole day again, really confused,
Like
and then I feel
the
like.
progression of it each time that
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The first time, this day, the second day of it, he's just kind of like, all right, okay, this
He's
is
confused. Yeah,
what
like
is going on.
deja vu.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna, I'm just gonna go through it and see, and then, and then the next day, he just like completely, he's just even more confused, and it just progresses really from there. And I'm aware of time, so I'm kind of like, we're only on day three, um, and yeah, he just starts to experiment more
Yeah.
and he asked Rita to come and have a talk with him in this cafe,
Yeah.
and then the cafe is then that he uses that quite a lot in the film. Then this is one of
Yeah.
his techniques, and because we see later that he knows everyone in the cafe.
Yeah, the sort of scene where one of the best scenes where he goes, "I'm God," or something. What does he say?
Yeah,
He's like, "I am God. I
he's
know
so
every single person's name and what they do in this room," and then he proves it to her by
yeah,
like saying what's going to happen, and it's such a cool scene.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
that. It's like I think I'm a god. Um, And yeah, and you can see like towards the first choices he does, he starts to get really confused, and he just kind of thinks, right, I'm just gonna own it, and he starts to do really just like kind of morally wrong
Mm,
things. Like he gets that girl to come back, the lady to come back with him, but he pretends he knows her from school. Like
mm.
in one of the earlier days, he asks her name, and then then he can ask her about yeah, and he goes up to her and pretends that he knows her from school. Um,
It's yeah, so
Uh,
many things like
no,
that.
there are so many things, and
How does he
uh,
end up?
yeah,
Like his character arc is obviously like the main thing.
yeah,
It's so cool that how it ends up from how it started, like you said before.
yeah, yeah. It starts off with him, the grumpy weatherman, and then by the end, he is, and the last like 15 minutes were just my favorite. You know the way he just says to Rita, like he's like, "Oh, I've got some errands to run,"
Mm,
and then thinking, oh, and then you see him going off and he fixes a tire. He saves
mhm,
a boy who falls out of a tree, and
mm.
it's like he's got a schedule of things to do to help people.
Saving the
And then,
town, yeah.
and then, do you know what it reminded me of towards the end? You know when they have the big dance at the end? It felt
Hmm.
really nostalgic to me. It felt kind of like the films back then, like Back to the Future, like
Yeah,
end up with like a dance and they're like quite in a place where things come together.
yeah,
Um, and then
yeah. It definitely feels like that.
yeah, no, and then he sort of just becomes an all-round better person. He's happier. He realizes that some of the well, I'm interpreting it as he realizes that the most important things in life are to be kind and
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be helpful and to just
Hmm.
treat everyone with this respect and you
Hmm.
know
Yeah,
um,
100%.
life is much more enjoyable if you're not snarky and you just smile, you help people. Like it's all of those really nice messages that I feel like was, as I say, really really appropriate for right now.
Yeah,
And
because
also just
but
yeah,
in this day and age, I'll quickly say,
I
it kind of feels a little bit like Groundhog Day at the minute. At least it does for me, because it's just like wake up, like go about your daily routine, go on your hour-long walk, come back. Like I see some of the same people out on the walk in the park, and it's just like it genuinely feels a little bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's quite easy to get, like you said, snarky and pissed off, and it's just like, no, just treat each day, you know, better, like be better. Yeah.
And just the last thing I want to say is the time loop. I love how it's never explained.
Yes.
Like it's just
like
up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So
it doesn't need to be explained. It's
no.
Yeah. So yeah, if you were to give it a rating out of any rating, it could be A to Z, it could be 1 to 5, could be A to B, I don't know. What would you give it?
For do you know what? I'm gonna go for an A.
You give it an A.
Yeah, I give it an A. I can 100% see why it's in the IMDb top 250.